everyone. This is LeetCode 1004, maximum consecutive ones. And in this problem, we are given an array and an integer k. The task is to return the maximum number of consecutive ones in the array if we are allowed to flip at most k zeros to ones. What does that basically mean is if k is equals to 0, in this array we can flip two zeros into ones. We can convert them and we can change up zeros to ones. So now for the code, this line, what it does is we are initializing the answer to 0. And answer keeps track of the maximum length of consecutive ones as we process the array. This for loop, basically we are using the concept of sliding window in this. We have a left pointer and a right pointer, and then we are incrementing r. Basically, we are traversing through the loop. And in this line, what are we doing is this one. We are, if the current number r is equals to 0, we are using one of the flips that we have. So if let's say this is the 0 that we want to flip, our k was initially 2, then the k is going to be 1, which means we have used one of our flips and this 0 is now 1. And while what if like we used more flips than we are allowed to? What if k becomes negative? This means that we have to shrink the window from the left until we are allowed within the number of flips that we have. So to explain this, I will be giving an example on my notepad. Okay, so we are starting from L equals to 0 and R equals to 0. And while we are traversing through the array that we have, the first element is 1, so we don't need to flip. The second element is also 1, we don't need to flip it, so there are still no flips. Third element is also 1, still no flips. This element, when R is equals to 3, which means the fourth element in the array, that is 0. That means we need to use one of the flips that we have. So from two flips, we have now one flip left. In the fifth element, I mean in the fourth element, technically the fifth in the array, but okay, we have to use one of the flips again. So now k from 1 has gotten k is equals to 0. The window is this much right now. The fifth element is also 0. We are using another flip that we don't have, that's why k is equals to -1. To solve this, we need to shrink the window from left. And how does that process work? Basically, in shrinking, what are we doing is we are traversing through the loop again to see, okay, the first element was already 1. We have not used the k that we have. The second element was 1. The third element was also 1. The fourth one, index is 3. We have used one of the flips here. So we are recovering the flip that we have. Now k is equals to 0. What the shrinking does is that it ensures that the window always contains at most k zeros. And now in this line, okay, so we have recovered the zeros that like we did in the shrinking part. In this line, what we are doing is we are adjusting the window and then we are updating answer. Updating answer if the current window is longer than the previous window, basically. And in this line, we are just returning and checking all the elements. So now let's just submit code. Okay, so the code is running and we just need to submit it now. It works basically. Okay, so thank you for watching. I mean, thank you for watching if anyone is watching because I don't think anyone is watching, but still. So this is LeetCode 1004, maximum consecutive ones. Thank you.